just a couple of minutes before noon. Good afternoon, we'll say, well, in a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
And it is another nice day here in South Florida, typical weather. And I want to point out, you see that green stuff? We're going to be on that next Friday, the grass. Looking fantastic. So we get grass racing back next Friday. Of course, we're dealing with today with a fast main track, and we have the all-weather Tapeta, and let's see what's going on in the Rainbow Six. Did we have a single yesterday? No, we didn't. It was a very formful day, but we'll see how it plays out today. We'll see with the same thing, $125,000, and pretty good. We'll see how it goes. It's 9-race cards, so it's races 4 through 9 this afternoon.
You remembered how to count.
Yep, I was going with my fingers. You didn't see it
That's okay.
before we were off the air. So now, with all that said, we'll get to the first race this afternoon. It's going to be a 7-furlong sprint on a fast main track. Claim is fillies, 3-year-olds, fillies and mares 4 and up, which have never won 2 races. Scratched a big scratch in here. The favorite in here, the 5, Alessa Queen. Interesting to see what you're going to do with your early pick 5.
Well, it definitely changes things, Ron, because originally I had a single here. I was going to just single and move down the road, but now you've got to use a couple more. Race 2, this is my best bet, Winning Star. Race number 3, I've got the 3 on top, Sting Music. That's my long shot. Race number 4, maiden special weight event for the 2-year-old fillies. It's a good one. Not a lot to look at, but I do have the 3 to very much on top. Race number 5, I have the 1 Charge Off on top for $40.50.
$8 to 1 that horse.
Yeah,
I should say Charge Off. So pretty good. The 1 horse, $40.50. Getting to this first race, as I mentioned, a big scratch in here of Alessa Queen.
Yep.
I bumped in Be a Queen in my spot. Did you do the same thing?
That's exactly what I did. Yeah, Be a Queen. She was not so great last time, but that was in the Azalea. She broke her maiden finally and broke through very nicely, and now we're back in a spot where she fits.
And with the 5 out, she fits very well today,
yeah.
you would think. So a couple other horses. You might go with the 4 horse in here. Vivi, Get Your Guns. I like the name.
Yeah, that's cute.
For Willoughby Simpson. We'll see how that one runs today. That one was only been on the Tapeta, I believe. That horse.
Yeah. And so the main track work, though, on July 10th, of course, we can't see it. It wasn't available, but that's pretty snappy, 47-2.
The other horse that you got to sort of look at off the recent form is the number 2 Just a Filly, but this is a tougher spot for this horse winning last time out.
Absolutely, but to her credit, she is the only 2-time winner in the field.
Like that. Always like that. I got it written right there on my stuff. Only 2 times. You couldn't fool me.
I know.
We got a lot of horses in race number 9. Race number 9.
Whoa, we're skipping.
We'll go right to race number 9.
There we go.
Second race, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. Made a claim is for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up. Scratch the 10. I don't know what the 9 was in my brain. That's Mirolita has been declared out of race number 2. Early pick 4. You got a single in here, Winning Star.
Yeah, I do. I'm just singling right off the rip. We don't have to show it, guys. It's fine. And this gal here, whenever she breezed at the OBS April sale, which I wasn't really a big fan of anything that came out of that April sale, well, it remains to be seen, just the quality of that. Usually March is better, typically, in my opinion. But she traveled really nicely on the Tapeta. And my notes on her was, I hope when she debuted, I hope she likes the turf because she does not want any part of the dirt when you watch her breeze. So, blinkers go on today here. I'm not a big fan of the rail draw for her, but I know she can handle the Tapeta just based off her AM activity.
I want to show you a stat. I found it interesting in here, and I think it might be something that you want to think about. Maiden special weight, the maiden claim is turf to Tapeta the past 4 years. Only 15% for Sanford Joseph Jr., which is low for him.
Right.
He's in the money 60% of the time. You know the ROI would be low. It's just food for thought, maybe, on a horse like that. I mean, I picked a horse, too. I just wanted to, put that out there. Then you got the number 3 horse. Did you use that one, Game Winning Pass?
No, I didn't. You did. All right, well, you go for it.
I'll go for that. I just thought this horse dropped into the 12-5 level today after a couple of starts, back-to-back third-place finishes. I think maybe the drop down for Eddie Plesa Jr., who doesn't really have him cranked up. Maybe the third start will be the charm for this horse. They found a level where they think this horse can win.
Yeah, and that's what's going to help here. I know she's only had 2 races, but my only concern with that is, when you see horses like this, they're such a trap because every time they kind of look like they're going to win, but they don't. And now with those 2 races where she's just kind of been comfortable idling in third, I wonder where that is. Maybe we've got to see her go longer, in my opinion.
Yeah. What do you do with Curling Rose, the one you have in second for Nesta Castellares?
Yeah, this one is just 0 for 10, so yeah, it's not great. She's 5 years old, by the way, but maybe we just get one of those races where it's we have those races where you can run them 5 different times and every single time is a different result. And we see horses like this a lot that have had a lot of tries on the Tapeta and then eventually they just, boom, step up.
I'm trying to remember. Our wins aren't luck. Did that horse win yesterday?
No, that was Friday.
That was Friday.
Yeah, and on the dirt.
On the dirt.
Yeah, it was a very heavy favorite. No, you're right. Yeah, that was. But yeah, that our wins aren't luck. Didn't win on the 2. But hey, Fluffy came back to win.
Yeah.
Fluffy came back to win at a different track, actually, which was interesting.
Oh,
we got a text from Pete about that last weekend.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't get it. I was.
I wonder where you were. You were drinking Mai Tais in Santorini.
There you go. Third race this afternoon, 7 furlongs on a fast main track. Boy, got a lot of nice dirt racing the last couple of days. We didn't have much dirt racing during the winter, but
no,
it seems
this is great. Yep.
The summer we got it. Claimers, they are 3-year-olds and upward, and we got a field of 6 in here, and it's a straight claimer, and you went with the number 3 horse in here, Sting Music. We'll start with that, or you want to show the video of Ludabadi and High Prince?
We'll start with the Sting Music just because this is the replay's kind of the reason I am picking against them. Look, this horse going 2 turns on the dirt at Tampa, I know that was a class of competition that was much less than what you're going to get here, but those were tougher races there. Horses like Whiskey Park, who was trained by Safi Joseph, in that kind of race and showed speed and then just spit it out. But now we'll cut back to 1 turn, which this horse has not been 1 turn in a long time.
Yep, we'll see how Sting Music. I had him a little further down on the ticket. Let's show Ludabadi and High Prince, who actually put first and second.
Yep, and this was a sloppy track this day. We didn't see hardly any of this late in the last 7 months, it seems like, almost 8 months now. But Ludabadi just completely romped in the mud here, and it was a short price. Now High Prince just could never catch his stablemate. I mean, that was just, there's no other way to put it. He's in his left lead. Do you how much do you play into this? Did High Prince not like the slop, and did Ludabadi love it? It's hard to get a gauge for me on those 2.
Yeah, it's interesting to point that out about the sloppy track, but this horse, if you go 2 starts back, talking about Ludabadi, 1 on a fast track.
Right.
So
maybe
ran his eyeballs up, and the other horses raced in like the turf. But he's a 2-3-time winner, and he's won a couple on the dirt. So
and the one this stat that you found here, High Prince down first off the claim.
Yeah, he's pretty good with Angel Rodriguez. He's first off the claim just the past couple of years. I wanted to show this 18%, 32% in the money. That's good for him.
It is, yeah.
Angel
really
Rodriguez does a good job. He doesn't get a lot of wins. He's not a household name, but he does a good job, and I wanted to point that out.
I agree.
And that's why I did just the last couple of years in there. So that is the Prentice will be in there. Yober Torres will be in the saddle in race number 2. Now, what about the 5 in here? Blue Slide Park.
He's going to make a barn switch, but same owners, Vicente Stella Stables. The 3rd place finish was a good one behind a really nice group. Now, he is one that lacks any early speed, and that's his biggest problem here. And they've tried the 1 mile distance. They've tried 2 turns. He's one that is just, I think he's much better on the dirt. I'll say that. Even though he does have a Tapeta win, it was earlier on in a non-winners of 2 type of condition. So I think maybe we'll pick up some pieces if they go fast enough up front.
Yeah, I like Uranium, that horse Uranium.
Yeah, that was it. Came back and won, too.
He's a pretty good horse.
It was a good race.
So I'm going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow 6 ticket and see if we can get the win today. Yesterday didn't pay very well, but it was what a chalky
You were
day.
saving up for today.
Yeah, I hope so. Good luck. We'll be right back.
And they're off.
Win big with new DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream today. Ron, Samantha, Brian on vacation for a couple of days. Yeah, but people when they're asking for him, they come here every minute. Where's Brian? Where's
I
Brian?
know. What about us, guys?
Yeah. 5.5 furlongs on the main track, so that's we got a lot of dirt racing
Yes,
today.
it's great.
And this one is maidens, and they are fillies. They're 2-year-olds, and we're going to scratch the 4 Authentic Wave and number 8 Soda, who's already had a couple of tries on the main track and hasn't fared well. Okay, he ran second, so he did okay, but he's not running today. So the Rainbow 6, we'll check it out right now. I went 3 deep in here with the 1, 2, and 7. We'll talk about this race. Race number 5. There's my single today. Secret Empire. Going to try and wake up Gerald Bennett and Jose Ferrer today and see if they get it done. Race number 6. My topic is the 5 Freedom Street. We have a video. We're going to show that horse. Race number 7. My top pick is the 4 horse. That's my long shot today, and that is Hold Her Close. She's 8-1, I believe, on the morning line. And we'll see race number 8. My top pick is the 3. My wife knows it all. Boy, do we know these horses.
Yeah.
The more you control, I used them. I can't separate them. And in the last race, I got Zozan on top. 2-1 for Sappy Joseph Jr. with Lace Up. And 48.60 for me this afternoon. Got lots of coverage if that single comes in. So we'll see what happens with that ticket. Now, getting back to this race, you want to show the work of that horse?
Well, we'll talk. We could start however you want.
Well, let's start with your top pick,
Okay.
the 3.
Well, there's not a lot to really tell about this horse because there's no works that you can see from her, but she is a St. Elias homebred here. The dam was unraced. This is the second foal. The first foal never ran a race here. Look, we see Mike Yates and St. Elias. He gives him a few horses, and Rated by Merit just jumps out last year. So, look, it's great that this is the start of the Rainbow 6 because I can take a look at them here and know a lot more. But battalion runners have just been so good first time out. So good.
I want to ask you about Riley Toll. I want to ask you, what do you think of Matoli's?
They're quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're actually running on the grass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin Tom has a horse he bred to Matoli,
Yes.
and he's going to run on the grass. So I was just curious what you thought of it. That is the number 7 horse, and of course it comes from Sappy Joseph Jr.
Yep.
Got a couple of sharp works showing up at Palm Meadows on that main track up there. So maybe this horse comes out running. Raylu Gutierrez, who's got about 3 wins already. So in a few days that he's here, will be in the saddle today. And just thought it was a horse you had to sort of use on your ticket.
Yeah, the works are good. I don't want to play musical jockeys, because Sappy is very fair with giving Edgard horses and second call rider horses as well. The horse is drawn better than the stablemate, that's for sure.
What about the number 5 questionable decisions for Mr. Gerald Bennett?
So the dam won 8 races. This is the same connections of a horse named Naughty Rascal who won first time out for Gerald Bennett. Same exact situation here. This is a sneaky gal to me. Now, again, I'll have to look at her because it's so hard to go into this race blind. But this Mr. Pug Racing, this is Naughty Rascal was really good and ended up being a stakes winner. So
we'll see how that plays out. What about the one Mystic Bell? This is the one that you found to work on.
Yes, so Basin does have one winner so far. Was Asmussen's, then was moved to Pletcher towards the end of his career. Now watch this. She's working 9 and 4. The jock has the stick in his left hand, but watch what happens here. 9 and 4 is a very sharp work, but look at this. He flags her, and then right here, boom, bolts right out.
Wow.
Now, the whole time that he's flagging her with the left hand there.
So she pushes
and that's that's what it looked like. That's just error on the rider's part.
Right.
She's already looking at something and you're continuing to kind of waver,
right.
which I get because you're trying to keep her attention. But at that point, you switch your stick and you get him. You just keep him in because it's not like at first when I was watching, I was like, oh, is she getting out? I couldn't really tell. But then when I saw that whip go up like that and then she bolted out, now she corrected herself very nicely. Like I said, 9 and 4. That's sharp for the OBS sale. I don't know. She's got one half sibling named Syndergaard who was second in the Grade 1 Champagne. I don't know about today. Today I'm willing to play against her, I think. Now, we can look at them, but...
Yeah, we'll see how they look, because that might tell. And Mystical Bell is a morning line favorite in there for all the reasons that, the connections, that's the other Safi.
Right.
You get Edgard Zayas, and like you said, musical jockeys, who knows. And, you're absolutely right about that. Safi's very fair.
Yes.
Even guys that come from Jamaica or wherever they come from, he gives them a good shot. So, with that said, race 4, great way to start the Rainbow Six because you could look at the horses and you could see where the money is going. Race number 5 is a 6-furlong sprint, once again on a fast main track. These are claimers, 3-year-olds or 4 and up, which have never won 3. No scratches in the race. Samantha has a late pick 5 ticket that starts in race number 5.
It does. We'll take a look at it here. I'm singling in the last with Zozan. I had to. I couldn't find any leverage anywhere else. Race 6, Ron. I do have the 5 on top, Freedom Street, but I am using the other Safi Joseph runner, the 4. And then the 2, Wittingly, another Mike Yates gun runner going 2 turns for the first time out. I don't know. I put that horse in. I'm not sure about him, but we'll see. Race 7, I'm spreading there. The 8 is my top pick. That's Trumpetta. I did lose a horse that I was planning on singling, Pemberley. I was just going to single that horse. So race 8, I'm only using Amori Control and Happy Ride. I'm going to play against My Wife Knows It All. We'll get into that race in a little bit. And then I think Zozan is the likeliest winner, and I'm not going to try to make something out of nothing.
Yeah, I think Zozan is strictly the one to beat. That horse with Mike Yates, I'll show a stat on that horse.
All right.
Maybe that'll help you out a little bit in there. So getting back to race number 5 this afternoon, how did you start it off with the inside? Oh, it's a good price on this horse. Charge off. Tell me about it.
Yeah, well, I like the move to the main track here. This horse has never been on the main track. The races on the Tapeta, we're going 2 turns, and now we're going to sprint. Now, he has sprinted on the Tapeta before. It was with a group that it was an open 25 group, so pretty tough competition there. But I'm just excited to see what he has on the main track. You have a Misail from the rail. At least we get a non-winners of 3 condition, just restricted here. And if this horse has any speed at all, we'll get it from a Misail. We'll see how far he can go.
And as I mentioned, Secret Empire, the 7 is my best bet. He drops to a level where his speed must be respected. I saw it. There's very little doubt that jockey Jose Ferrer will be playing Catch Me If You Can or be in that first flight. So I'm just trying to steal the drop from 25. You have to go back to see this horse showing speed, early on. So I think the chance, it's a little bit of a guesswork on my part, but we'll see how it runs there. So I'm going to take a
if he gets in front, he doesn't lose.
Yeah,
I mean, in both of his races, an
$8,000 level, I think is his level. When you look at him on paper. Now we got a replay here of Sven. Don't answer and say it no more. I like saying Sven.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's cool. You're pretty good at it. They did tangle on June 15th last time. Unsaint No More, thanks guys, is in the mix as well. I thought Sven ran on really nice in this race. Ron has finally switched leads and ran quite well. Now Don't Answer is in the mix as well. He finishes up nicely. I just let Sven That was a big run. It kind of looked like at the end, like you could have been fifth, but then he ended up finishing second. So that's pretty good.
No, he ran very well in there, and you just got beat that neck by Haberdasher, and right behind him was No Answer, as you saw on the video. So, ways to go with the 1, a little bit of a price to 7, 3 to 1, not the morning in favor or anything. So, take a couple of chances in race number 5. Race number 6, we're back on the Tapeta at 1 mile and 70 yards, and these are maiden 3-year-olds and upward, and boy, it looks Freedom Street might be the one. You put that one on your late pick 4 ticket. Did you single that horse?
No, I didn't. I used the other Safi as well. But we'll look at the replay because this horse tried really hard out the back and just you can't make up that ground. The rails were at 66 feet here. This is the 2 horse in this race. He tried really hard here, but he just couldn't get it done, Ron. And his stablemate actually defeated him, Culpa, who's going to run it on the 5 horse there. But this was this horse's first time out. He was just very slow to break from the starting gate and just trailed the whole time. To be able to make up that ground for third is tough to do.
And the horse that finished second came back and win. Parrot Surprise came right back and win and just got barely beat by the winner in there. So it's turning out to be a pretty good race, So that for all the reasons that you have to have it on. You talked about Whittingley. We'll go to that one real quickly. Mike Yates, I want to show you a stat. Now, this is with 3-year-olds and up. Mike, you always hear about, 2-year-olds. He does a lot of good work with it. This is first-time starters, 3-year-olds and upward over the past 5 years, 18%. Pretty good number, so he's got a shot to run well. But as you mentioned, Gun Runner, 2 turns. They paid $400,000 for this horse. Of course, owned by St. Elias Stable, and Mike gets some of their horses, I'll put it that way.
A couple of them. It's not, to me, like the dam was, they ran her on the grass, and you breed a Gun Runner, to me, that's not a good sign for sure to be debuting on the Tapeta. Yeah.
So, and then you got 11 Bravo in here, who's Safi Joseph Jr., who just comes off a back-to-back second place finishes on the turf. So, his favorite last time out. Can it beat it? The Tapeta never tried it.
Nope, but has speed, and that works very well here.
Yeah, especially on the Tapeta when you're going long. Race number 7 this afternoon. We're going to stay on the Tapeta at 1 mile 70 yards. Claimers for 3-year-olds or fillies and mares 4 and up, which have never won 3. We did have a couple of scratches in here. The 6 won a knockout, and the horse that probably I had on top 2 at the time was Pemberley, the number 7 horse in here. I'll start it off because I got my long shot in here. And, got both her and the connections off the duck last time out when she won. She grew clear and she defeated a pair of next out winners. So 2 in a row at a price might be an offering. We mention this a lot. Once the horses figure it out, maybe this one has a chance. And you're going to get a little bit of a price with the, the connections are not known to win. They were, 0 at the meet and they got this first win, and maybe you get that second one with this horse at a little bit of a price.
Yeah, well, you said it perfect, Ron. When horses like this break through and get a taste of a victory, they tend to run well after, and that she's just improved leaps and bounds since switching to the Tapeta.
Our old buddy Trumpetta, you put on top after Pemberley scratch?
Yeah, I did scratch into Trumpetta. Look, when she's on her day, she beat Holder close. Yeah. So the next race on the turf, it put a line through it. She's got good spacing. I love this post position. Now it's just up to her to see what we can do.
Yeah, you got to have her on the ticket, I believe, especially with the scratch of Pemberley in there. Yeah. And then we have the number, let's talk about the 5 a little bit. And the last bullet's mine, who's dropping for John Vincent. And I think that's the key. The drop down will help this horse. Horse has some tactical speed.
Yep, he does. You look back at his race back in December. Now, that was 2023. It was a good second place finish in a tough group on the Tapeta. The last Tapeta start was against a very tough group. So now we're probably where she fits. She's 8 years old.
Yeah. See how she's 8 years old.
I know.
Race number 8, 5.5 on the Tapeta. These are starter optional claimers. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch the 2 singing Sandra. I always want to say singing Sinatra, but it's singing Sandra. I think I actually wrote it one time in my analysis.
That's all right.
So we got a lot of buddies we know in this race. You control. My wife knows it all. Water. Let's show that video and
Yeah.
then let's see what happens here.
Well, my wife knows it all in Amori Control. They're like the Seabiscuit and what is it? War Admiral? War Admiral. They're like that. That's like these two matching up every time because one wins, the other wins, one wins, the other wins. My wife knows it all. Fair and square won this race.
Yeah.
Now, could you argue Amori Control was maybe on not the best part of the track? Yes. Warda, I didn't see a very big excuse there, to be honest. So it's hard for me to really confidently. You got Warda further down too, but. Amori Control has now finished second 3 times in a row and has been defeated by My Wife Knows It All twice. But My Wife Knows It All, 2 wins in a row now, or 1 win, and this is a gal that she has trouble putting together 2 wins in a row. She's done it before, but it's not as easy, I think, as it once was.
One reason I went with her, pace makes the race, and I see some speed in here with the horses we mentioned, and I think My Wife Knows It All sits the perfect trip. Once again, we got a stat on Gary Jackson. We'll show you the stat real quickly, help you make your decisions. And winner last out under the PETA, 33%. Now, it's a small sampling, 4 for 12, 58% money, and a big old ROI of $3.42. And Gary Jackson, I know we like him. I know Brian likes him. You keep your eye on this guy. He always brings in some nice winners.
Yeah.
So
he's done a great job with this filly.
Yeah.
Great job.
Yeah. And I looked, and I thought the 4 wins, my wife knows it all. It isn't. There's other horses that he did this with.
Yes,
so it wasn't just her.
It wasn't just her,
Just her. So, so you go that way, and, Happy Ride. What about your Happy Ride used in second? I used in third. Laura Cesares.
Well, the allowance race that she won a few starts back in April was a really good race. She's the X factor because she's the one that has not been with this group since 2024. So she's a new shooter that is scary.
Yeah, well, she's going to be ding-donging with Amori Control. I mean, you look at their fractions, 21-1, 21-2, first quarter. They are motoring.
Yeah.
So does it set up for a horse like My Wife Knows It All, or maybe somebody else in the race that likes to come out of it, So you don't know because it's going to be a quickly run race.
Yeah.
So that is race number 8. In the 9th and final race this afternoon, we're back on the main track at a mile. These are claimers, 3-year-olds and upward. We're going to scratch the 5 Rare Jewel, and I agree with you that Sozanne is the one to beat.
Yes, he is. He finished second last time. Now his competition is the horse that beat him last time. Lace Up is in the race as well. That's the 2. But Zozan was way far out the back, something that he hasn't been. He typically isn't. Now, he's very good at making up ground, but he's more tactical than he showed. The February race where he just sat right in the mix, that was a good one. But now came off a little bit of a break. I think we'll see him more forward here.
Yeah, that's the key. He came off the break and he ran good. That was a pretty long February to to June. So, in Safi, second off the bench, he's 22%. With all his horses, they're always in the high 20s. I mean, the angle is so. And you're getting Ray Lu Gutierrez, who's been riding first and second call for the past week, I guess, with Safi and Edgard going wherever Edgard goes in particular races. But he's certainly doing well. Now, you got the number 4 in second. That's Mr. Scatter.
Yeah, Mr. Scatter's just coming out of that same group here. Third place finish last time, was defeated by Lace Up, but Carlos Narvaez will send this horse out again. And this is a barn that was going guns blazing earlier on in the year, and a couple wins, but has been a bit more quiet. And I think that this is an interesting horse. My
buddy Fred LeBeau has number 2 Lace Up. He claimed him last time out, claimed in consecutive races. Always runs well. Got to have him on a ticket. Very simple. I think.
I
try
agree.
Super, wherever you want to put it. You know.
And the horse is 1-2 in a row before finishing second, so he has fight in him.
Well, that's it. That's the 9, but we're not done. We got a great lightning round because we're going to show you a couple of really nice videos, and one was especially exciting yesterday. Both were, actually.
Yeah, both are. We had a feature here, and there was a feature, of course, at Saratoga, and we'll start off with Sovereignty. He's on top at the spa. What did you think of the Jim Dandy?
I don't know what happened in the Jim Dandy there. If we bat.
Do we have that, guys? Do we have the? Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
There he is right there. And this is, after he went back for
Yeah.
some reason. I don't know what it was. I guess we'll hear. I haven't heard from Junior yet, or whoever, Bill. And then he just classed it up. And
Yep.
we talked about Baeza, who's one of the horses who always, runs okay.
Yeah,
He's been knocking heads with the
yeah.
best horses in the country.
Yep,
Can't
yep.
take anything away from him.
Nope, and he hung on there. Yeah, it was just really between them both. So, look, Sovereignty, he's a cool horse. He's a man, and it'll be exciting to see where he moves on. And it was great to see him just right behind us.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I came here and Bill Mott, my buddy Bill Mott. I love having fun with Bill Mott. Hey, but we had a nice stake right here.
We did, yeah. The Miss Gracie was yesterday,
Right.
Ron, and Scarlet Sands. She's now a three-time winner, 3 in a row winner, and there was just. I don't want to say when the gates opened, this race was over, but it was.
Yeah, I mean,
They didn't go fast at all up front.
I thought Crafty Collector might have been able to win this horse steady
Yep.
3 times in
Yep.
the 5-horse field going up because the horse just wanted to run.
Yeah, he
and they
did.
just couldn't find that positioning, and boy, ran a good race. So
That's
hey,
who you
that
wanna bet.
exacta with the 2 logical horses was like $26.
Wow, that's
that with
pretty
the
good.
big favorite on top. That's if you had it, it was very good.
Yep.
Seeing green. I like to see green in my pocket,
Well,
but we'll be seeing green
on the
next
grass.
week. The grass looks fantastic.
It really does. We're back to turf racing.
There you go.
Look
Look
at
at
this,
that.
guys. This is just so pretty. Very, very exciting to have it back. And they do such a good job. It's not probably an easy task at all to keep this grass green and alive during the summertime here. I can't even keep a succulent alive, and they're like the easiest plants ever.
We're going to talk to that crew on the next podcast, maybe.
Yeah. We
I want to know. We'll see what they got to say about
punching
it.
holes in it. You know the drill.
Yeah, I know the whole 8 inches shoot the sand in.
He's a pro.
Best bet.
Oh, winning star for me in race 2.
My best bet today is that 7-horse, and it's a bit of a price, 3-1 for best bet for me. Secret Empire.
I like it.
See if we can steal that race here. And what else we got? Your long shot today.
Yep, Sting Music for me.
6-1, and mine is race number 8, I believe. Race 7, the 4-holder close, 8-1 on the morning line.
I like it.
That's it for us. We're going to turn it over to Pete Aiello. He's going to give you all the changes, and we'll be back here for race number 1.